Hello, people. Just a little bit. Alrighty then. I will get this fixed someday. Back to Apollo Justice. Die! Do you remember what happened? I know exactly what Di's gonna say. She's gonna say, shenanigans happened. Shenanigans happened. Yes. Okay, so we went into the Maractus clinic last time. We found ended up finding sandals because we also found a pair of slippers, and they were from the Maractus clinic. We also found a pair of sandals that had matching a big toe print. A big toe print. But we couldn't identify to anyone because there's no record of toe print. Which is logical because in the police force, they don't take records of your toe. They take records of your fingers, your most used digits, not your least used digits. Your least used digits are used for walking. But yes, we may have an idea who the killer is, and it's not walkie-talkie. So that's pretty much where we're at. Did I also mention we're going back to the courthouse? June 17th, 9:52 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. This is it, the big day. Did you get any sleep? Yeah, I went to bed at 1 o'clock a.m. or so. Oh? What time did you get up? It's 3 o'clock a.m., so 2 hours. That's only 2 hours, Apollo! But at least you have me. And the amazing Mr. Hat. Here's looking at you, kid. Acme? Oh, that's not Cagney, that's Beauregard, I think. I'm not big on my detective movies. I just heard references of them from other movies and TV shows. Good luck today, Apollo. That voice. Hiya. Get any sleep? Mr. Wright. I was going out of my mind with boredom, so I signed myself out early today. Somehow, that place makes fake piano playing at the Indochine pasta joint seem almost fun. Daddy, do you know who Prosecutor Gavin's witness is today? Take a guess. How about Little Plum? Fat chance. That Sherman tank of a mom? Nope, guess again. That's too bad, you know? Speaking of mom, you need to find me a new mommy one of these days, Daddy. It's early morning and you're at it already, Trucy? Okay, see, this is why I don't buy their father-daughter relationship. They make a really good father and daughter pair, don't they, Di? That's because they probably dumped 3 months in your bottle. Oh, okay. Because that's what they've been doing to mine. They dumped 3 months in the same bottle. So, Mr. Wright, do you know who the prosecutor's witness is? Alita Tayela, your client's fiance. Going to be a witness? But that seems odd. Why would she testify against her own fiance? You have to wonder what Gavin's up to. Going down today, and that much is clear. Well, not to worry. I've got my panties back. If we can't find a killer, I'll pull one out of there. She's gonna pull a killer out of her panties. June 17th, 10 o'clock a.m. District Court, courtroom number 4. Court is now in session for the trial of Walkie Kutaki. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is warming up, and it's a sold-out house. Very well. To recap, while yesterday's witness seemed more guilty than any other party, guilty of panty snatching, we did find out one thing for certain. There were 3 people in the park at the time of the murder. The witness, the victim, and the defendant. Correct, sir, Judge. And today, I'd like to do something a little newy. I'd like to look at this horrible crime from the outside. The outside? The acquisition of the murder weapon. The preparation for the act. Before defendant told all, see, to his betrothed. His betrothed? His fiancée, or judge, his partner for life, with no chance for parole. Very well. You may show the lucky lady to the stand. Gavin's making marriage sound like a house arrest, doesn't it, Di? Your name and occupation, Will. Letitia. My occupation is future wife. Oh, traditional value. I respect that. Too many brides these days can't even weave baskets blindfolded underwater. Blindfolded underwater, weaving baskets? I don't even know how that's even a feat. I don't know, weaving baskets blindfolded above water. Yeah, you're here today as a witness for the prosecution? To be honest, I didn't want to testify at first, but I couldn't hide the truth. Honestly, another admirable trait. Lane, is it true that on the day of the crime, the defendant, Walkie Kutaki, confessed his plans? His plans. A murder? Yes. The witness will please give her testimony to the court. Walkie's plan. It was the day that the family health checkup results. When Walkie found out that Dr. Maractus had lied, he flew into a rage. "I'll teach him," he said. The corner of the family. And you already know what happened. I just don't see how anyone but Walkie could have done it. So the pistol didn't belong to the Kentucky family then? Yeah, with regards to this, an investigation is underway in the Kentucky mansion on charges of possession of illegal firearms. And the bullet that took the victim's life, was it? Fired from the pistol the defendant procured? Yes, this has been proven. How can you prove something like that? Bullets carry marks from the barrel that fired them, called rifling marks. Or, as we learned, the other term, ballistic mark, which they're basically the same. Rifling marks? Think of them as being a gun's fingerprint, left on every bullet it fired. And when did you first hear about Walkie's plan? It was the day of the murder. I should have stopped him. I just didn't think he would actually do it. Very well. The defense may begin the cross-examination. That was the day of the murder, correct? Yes, everyone in the family received their checkup results that day. When Walkie looked at his face went so pale. But of course, he had just found out he had a bullet in his chest. So you were there at the time? Yes. Do remember that up at the top, if it's actually lit up, you can actually use it anytime. Hold it! That must have been quite frightening. He was furious. Ripped his report up into shreds. Incidentally, I had to request another copy to file as evidence. A bothersome chore, but one I've performed without complaint. Walkie's at an age where he's hard to control when he loses temper. Of course, that little bit of instability is so cute. Great. Now he sounds like a psychopath. So, is it easy to take a pistol out from the house? Not really, I think. There's a system in place to limit access. But Walkie's a special case, being the next in line. Perhaps his treatment was a bit too special, Joe? Well, maybe he is a bit spoiled. I hear he got amazing presents for his birthdays. Last year was a switchblade made out of chewing gum and a chocolate gravestone. A switchblade made out of bubble gum and a chocolate gravestone. Would you want those, Di? Sounds like he has a taste for sweets and danger. The point here being that Walkie had access to a pistol. What happened? Meaning the murder. I tried to stop it. I really did. But Walkie wouldn't listen. Our defender was nothing, if not determined, it seems. The last thing you should do is blame yourself, miss. How can you say that for certain? Ow! Ah!
Objection!
Airfoot! You were refrained from badgering the Furlong. It was the defendant, Walkie, was it, who took the pistol from his home? We know this for a fact, but suppose we do. So, how could anyone else have used this pistol to shoot the victim? They could not. Simply logic, huh? That does seem to be the case. Does the defense have anything to say regarding to this point? Could someone else have used that pistol? Remember, Di, we're trying to get a not guilty verdict. Based on your testimony, there was clearly another. One other person had access to that pistol. What's this? Interesting. Let's ask the defense then. Tell the court who this other person with access was. And remember, we're going to exclude the mom and the dad. Even though they are witnesses, we're going to exclude them both because they weren't at the crime scene. And if you need help, you can always ask Andy. We're on the second case, second trial. That should be easy to find. Who else could have used the pistol? It's still right early in the trial. Okay. Yeah? He's dead. He's the one that got shot. I'll give you a hint. There's nobody on this page that's going to help you. It's anybody on this page. Well, Guy was not even at the park, so he can't have shot anybody. Yeah, a little bit. Because you got to think about this being a mob's gun, and who's going to be able to have access to it. And I already eliminated the mom and the dad because they were not at the crime scene. Her? Is that who you're talking about? Take that! Well, of course I mean you, Miss Ciela. Me? Why? You were quite clear when you told the court. You heard about the pistol from the defendant on the day of the murder. In other words, you knew what he was planning. Objection! Let me get this straight. You intend to tell us that this lady stole the pistol from her fiancé and killed a man in cold blood on his behalf? I've heard of people doing strange things for love, but this, by the way, he recites a lot of lines from Whitesnake songs. It does seem a bit unfathomable, to be sure. I'm all for romance and for supporting a partner in love, to be sure. But I think I would hesitate at murder. I'd hope you'd do more than hesitate. Well, what if a different connection could be proven? A connection between the witness and the victim. We might find that she had a personal motive behind wanting to help her fiancé. That would put things in a slightly different light. What possible connections are you suggesting here? You know what I'm starting to think? I'm starting to think that the police never looked into that safe. I have evidence showing a connection between the witness, Miss Ciela, and the victim. We do have one piece of evidence to prove it. And I hope you remember what it is. We can't use the sandals to connect anything. There is no supporting evidence to connect the sandals to anybody. But we do have a piece of evidence that will connect Elita to the victim. Did you see it? Yes, this is the only thing we have that's going to be able to relate her to the victim.
Take that!
That looks like a medical chart found inside a safe at the Maractus Clinic. I'd like to draw the court's attention to the names written on the chart. What? Miss Tiola, whatever. Why is your name on this chart? Well, care to explain the meaning of this, Miss Tiola? I'm not sure what you mean by meaning, Justice. Our warm little fiance just froze over. I was on staff at the clinic until half a year ago. It was boring, so I quit. That's all. Is there a problem with that? Miss Tiola, you testified that you had no connection to the victim, and I don't. Now, was she still lied? Regardless if she had no connection with the victim now, she did have connection with the victim. Now? I quit half a year ago. Didn't I? So there's no connection. Let me guess. You're the kind of guy who can't rest until he knows every last detail of his girlfriend's past. Am I right? That's not true at all. Why, I embrace the ones I love.
Objection!
There's no connection now. Doesn't fly in a court of law. Doesn't fly? One tough nut. Probably feels right at home with the Kentucky. You left your job at the Maractus Clinic, true, but you remain connected somehow. Very well, Mr. Justice. Show us evidence that proves the witness is still connected to the Maractus Clinic. Now, this is where we're going to get in a little deeper. Because even though we don't have substantial evidence to prove this, we do have supporting evidence to prove it. That should give you a hint. The checkup report's not going to help us. Not in this one. cell phone's not going to help us either, because that cell phone doesn't belong to Walkie or Adita. That cell phone belongs to a college student. Well, we gotta do the slippers first before we do sandals.
Take that!
Whoa, I suppose
Objection!
Our forehead? This trail you think you have found, it doesn't lead to the truth. Nor to a long career in that long profession, Ja. Gee, thanks. Perhaps you will allow me to do the honors? Why not? It might be nice for Most excellent. Let's rock. Well, they took a point away from us on this one. So we got it reversed. Let's try this again. Show us the evidence that proves the witness is still connected to the Marcus clinic. So, yes.
Take that!
It's back. I got it backwards. These sandals were found in the Maractus Clinic lobby. They're in time. I need to change this back to HDMI 1. Alright. Sorry about that. When you got only one provider that you're dealing with the area and they don't provide the best service, this is what you deal with. And you have to fork out $100 every month on service that's broken. That's life. But what's with you? I thought you were on my side. Perhaps you were unaware of that toes leave toe prints? A simple analysis of these sandals will reveal all. Very silent. Well, now we see your true colors. I was wrong to cooperate with the beginning. I just wanted you to help get Walkie back on the straight and narrow. This court thinks you need to worry less about Walkie and more about yourself. It sounds as though we need to hear a bit more about your story. Your sandals were found in the entrance to the clinic, which means you went there on the day of the murder. Well, there's a little point in denying it. Very well, the witness will tell us about this visit. Why did you go to the Maractus Clinic that day? The Maractus Clinic. I did go to the clinic that day. My first time in half a year since I quit in January. I went to warn him. After all, I knew Walkie had the pistol. The doctor always was a timid man, too timid to admit his own mistake. Why else would I have gone? I'm not hiding any dark secrets. I wanted to tell him to be careful, old friend. By mistake, you mean? The mistake we heard about from the defendant? The botched operation? He was a timid, small man. But I never wished to harm. I just thought I should let him know. You know. That does make sense. Yes, but there is still one thing which does not. What's that, Prosecutor Kevin? Sandals left in the lobby, of course. We can assume she wore these sandals to the clinic, Ja. Then, why did she not wear them home? If it were me. I would have worn them home. I would have worn these sandals home too. So why were the sandals left behind? We're gonna find some answers about this. We pointed out the contradiction before me. There's probably a good explanation for this, right, Miss Fiala? Say, for instance, there happened to be a similar pair of sandals there which you wore home by mistake. Actually, that's right. I'm impressed, Mr. Gavin. Oh, it is nothing. There is, after all, no other possible explanation. Now for it? Oh, what the? No fair! He's filling the holes in her testimony. The defense may begin the cross-examination. Around what time did you go to the clinic? I don't remember exactly, but it was around 9:30, I think. And that was the first time you had contacted Dr. Maractus in half a year? Of course it was. He wasn't the kind of boss you made friends with. So why did you go to the clinic that day? You want Dr. Maractus to run away? Well, after I failed to stop walking, I thought that was the only other way to avoid the problem. Couldn't you have called? Why go in person? I called several times that evening, but no one was in. The victim was busy driving home until about 9 o'clock p.m. that night. There was proven by this mirror you say, huh? I thought I warned you. He would run away from the store, knowing the doctor. You mean the act of malpractice on Walkie, correct? If he had just told Walkie the truth in the beginning, none of this would have happened. True, the operation was the start of this whole affair. Oh, of course. If he'd told him, he might have been erased by the Kitakis much earlier. A disturbing thought. We know the Maractus Clinic had ties to the Kitaki family. He probably couldn't have gone to the police even if he wanted to. That's what I knew I had to warn him. That's why I knew I had to warn him. Our secrets, eh? What? Look at me however you want, Mr. Justice. You won't find a thing. He's hiding something, I know it. I must have some evidence that proves it, too. You're free to think whatever you want. I went to that clinic with only one thought in mind. The audio's delayed. Why is the audio delayed? Is it the microphone that's delayed? Or is it the game sound that's delayed? Game. See what I can. Did that fix it?
Hold it!
But then you'd be betraying. But then you'd be betraying Walkie, wouldn't you? Yeah, all I did was refresh it on XSplit's end. No, I did it for him, for us. She went to warn him, so that her fiancé would not have to commit such a crime, Ja. I didn't want them to take my Walkie away. No way she went to Flint just to warn him. Do you know why she went, Apollo? Time to figure out what really happened to that clinic. And fast. So there is something that we can disprove her claims on. You have to figure out which statement is false. We can't prove this, actually. This is not a statement that we can prove. Matter of fact, a lot of the stuff that she says in that statement is opinionated. So there's nothing we can do to prove it. This actually sounds like a good statement to prove. Because, what is she hiding? That's the question. What is she hiding? We know she's hiding something. But what is it that she's hiding that she's not telling us? If you aren't sure, you can always ask Andy. The slippers? Well, her main reason wasn't to go and to get the slippers. Well, there's no fingerprints on this here, so we can't really do anything with this. But we need to know her main reasons for going into the Miraculous Clinic that night. And of course, it's not going to be for the pistol. She claims she was going there to warn Waki, but we know that there's a bigger reason. Well, we didn't really find a lamp inside the safe. That was sitting on the floor in the office. This chart was found inside a safe in the doctor's office. Yes? Why would this one chart be in the safe? Miss Tiala, you know why it was, don't you? Why are you filling me in? Dr. Maractus didn't have the leisure of making the safe. That's why he wrote up a false report and kept the truth box away. Better, Doctor. And this is where you come in, Miss Yella. The nurse who filed this chart was you, which means you knew about Walkie's failed operation. Interesting. You were in the same position as Dr. Maractus. Kind of makes it hard to claim no connection, does it? Sort of a novice. I'll give you that. Mr. Justice, you must know I was only a nurse. The doctor is responsible for the chart's content. This chart business seems quite important. Please amend your testimony accordingly. Badly. bracelet's reacting again. What is it, Apollo? I felt my bracelet tightening now. The bracelet? Just like yesterday, like you said. When a witness is unsure of something, their nervous habit gives them away. But I can't see anything, Apollo. Hey? Then what's my bracelet reacting to? Wait, maybe. Yes. That has to be it. What has to be it? Your senses, Apollo. They might be sharper than mine. Huh? I can't see it, but you can see it. I don't know about that, Susie. I don't have some kind of special power or anything. Listen to me, Apollo. There's a weak point somewhere in Miss Tiala's testimony, but we don't know about her nervous habit. Well then, what do? You have to perceive it yourself, Apollo, with your eyes and your senses. Then it's up to me and my bracelet. I don't know why, but the bracelet helps. Somehow touching it helps me focus. Let's give it a shot and bring down that test. Why would I go to the clinic now for a half a year? Oh, sorry. Okay, so what we're looking for... You probably would have missed that, wouldn't you, Die? But like I said, this is the reason why this game is easier than the first three.
Gotcha!
Why go to the clinic for half a year old chart now, you ask? But you know why you would go now, don't you? I don't know what you're talking about. I kind of like how they upgraded that little squirrel in the background. It visually does not look like that in the yes. It was quite clear, Miss Tiela. You have a nervous habit. The moment you said the word now, you used your right thumb to fiddle with your ring. What? He was unsure. I saw it. Now, that's the key word. The chart wasn't a part of your past. It's a clear and present threat. That's ridiculous. Why, if that were the case, I would have had 6 months to do something about it. Indeed. Eh? Which means something happened quite recently. Something to make that chart a problem for you now. I've got her on the ropes now. I can feel it. Time to strike the killing blow with evidence. Miss Tiela, there's no use trying to hide it. The chart became a threat to you now because of this. I'll be honest with you, Di, I kind of forgot what the answer after this was. I did go through them. The bullet? No, the bullet was in a safe. This would happen to be something before, because we have a feeling that the bullet was not a threat onto her. So there's something else. You think it's a checkup report?
Take that!
A health checkup report belonging to the defendant. The Katakis are trying to get out of the business. The health checkup this month was their first ever. What did you think when you heard about this? Eh? Oh, nothing. Why should I think anything? Oh? I would think you were positively beside yourself. Because you were afraid. You knew what Walkie's chest x-ray would reveal. A full half year has passed since the operation. You thought you were home free. When the chart came back to haunt you. That's all, Your Honor. What just happened? Did the witness just admit to lying? I sensed there was a great aura emanating from her forehead. Very cool. So the lady was lying, you see. That's correct. She said she had no connection to the Maracas clinic, but her connection was deep indeed. A bit too deep. If the Katakis got a hold of this chart with her name, she'd be finished. Isn't it right, Miss Kiala? You guessed it. Order! Order! I did it. I broke her testimony. Amazing, Apollo. I didn't see it at all. Daddy was right about you. Wait! Miss Kiolo? It's true. That chart was bad news for me. That's why I went to meet the doctor that day. But that's all. I told him about walking and went home. Here's this cross-examination far from over. What? Hid the truth from us. This is clear yet. It is not clear that this truth has anything to do with the case at hand. Very well, the witness will add this to her testimony. And we'll have a bit more cross-examination. I was so close. You're still close. Keep on her, Apollo. It's like she's actually hearing his thoughts. Kind of like Maya, right, Di? Nothing happened at all. I warned him and left. How did Dr. Maractus respond to this warning? Oh, he was quite surprised. Panicky. Who wouldn't be scared to learn that Kataki was after them? Incidentally, this court is not afraid of any mobs. Why, we had a life-threatening situation just yesterday right here in this courtroom. Yeah, real impressive the way you stood up to the attack of the amazing Mr. Hat, sir. After which I carried you back to your chambers. Sounds like the judge had quite a fright. Nothing happened in Dr. Maractus' office that day, huh? But what about the mess we found? Something definitely happened in that office, Apollo. I know. But we can't prove when it happened, nor that Alita Tiella was in any way involved. Well, let's try putting some evidence up anyway. There's no way she went to that clinic just to warn him. Do you know why she went, Apollo? I'm trying to figure out what really happened at that clinic and back. Well, this should be very easy to figure out the statement. You think the bullet? Okay, so we're gonna say something about this bullet, okay? I don't think the bullet was a threat on her. You spelled Maractus wrong. It's like you merged Kataki with Maractus. No, you're fine. Page 2 is actually where you should be able to find your evidence. Just say slippers. Well, the slippers don't really explain much.
Objection!
The lamp is not correct. The witness statement is clearly faulty, Your Honor. I'm sorry, but I see nothing faulty. Unfortunately, I will have to penalize you, Justice. I must be on the wrong track. Well, that's why you should have a guide up and... We already did the perceive on this one. That's where we got this statement. So I said Andy should have had the guide up for answer key purpose. Has most of this memorized. Yeah, we got things wrong, right, Di? Page 2.
Objection!
You say nothing happened in the doctor's office. So like I said, with the bullet die, we're pretty sure the bullet is not a threat on Alita. But the bullet apparently is something that would explain why something happened. You say nothing happened in the doctor's office? Yeah, I know. I got confused too when Andy was trying to tell me it's not the bullet. I disagree. Take a look at this. What's that? It looks like a squished up ball of clay. Kind of like you, actually. This bullet was found in the Maractus Clinic office. Something did happen in that office, Miss Tiela.
Objection!
Enough of this joking around. The police investigated it.
Objection!
Ah, but this was stuck inside the doctor's safe. Inside the safe? I guess the police didn't check that far.
Objection!
But there is a problem. How can you say that bullet was fired on the day?
Objection!
Weren't you the one who explained rifling marks to us? The pistol was taken from the Kentucky mansion that day. If the marks on this bullet matches the murder weapon, then that proves a firearm was discharged in the office on the day of the murder. Not better, forehead. Raidlove, have this bullet analyzed immediately. "30 minutes later, a report arrives. Usually these types of reports are done and they were given 24 hours to do these reports. Not 30 minutes. 30 minutes is quite fast. The rifling marks on both the bullet are identical. Well, it seems as though the bullet in the safe was fired from the murder weapon. Perhaps the defense would like to state their position? The bullet in the safe proves one fact. A pistol was fired in the office on that day, and at the time of the firing, the safe was opened. The safe which contained the top secret chart. Do you think someone was threatening Dr. Maroctus in order to open the safe? Only one person was in a position to do such a thing. Our witness, Alita Tiela. Order! Mr. Justice, where are you going with this? Are you accusing the witness? Alita Tiela knew about Walkie Kentucky's botched operation. She got engaged to him without telling him about it. As long as the bullet remained in his chest, his days were numbered. What if she married him, and then the bullet finally reached its destination? What? Never mind. Apparently the Kentuckys have been asserting themselves in lawful business practices. They're making quite a great deal of money, a fortune, if you will. The Furious. So she planned to marry him just to get her hands on this fortune? You keep talking trash about my Alita, and I'll stew you, lawyer man. Unfortunately, he can't exactly stew her. Huh? Me? Yeah, you said you'd abuse my Alita. I think you mean accused. Same difference. Well, you can't have her. She's mine. It was me. I shot the doctor. Me. He left me to die, so I left him to die too. There in that park. Walkie! Just cool down a second. You keep your hands off my Alita or I'll... Miss Stella? Sorry, I just... It's been so long since I've laughed so hard. Something funny? Walkie. Wake up and smell the salad. These are things. The signature on that. I mean, come on. So obvious. For a brainless, spoiled brat such as yourself. Anita! You're honest. Like breath of 12 air. Hey, I wasn't getting out of the clean. So the family fortune is what you're really after? That's right. I wanted the money. No way! That's whack! I ain't trying to hear that. Should I have done the wedding earlier? Well, by the way, can I ask you a question? Ooh, I believe you said you were going to abuse me? Accused! Oh, what crime, may I ask? Huh? Oh, I'm a bad girl, sure. I got close to that brat because I wanted his money. But he was the one with the pistol. He could have fired it into the safe after I'd already left the clinic. What? I would never do a thing like that. It was definitely that silly brat. Wait, but what are you talking about? Trucy, you had the most to lose if that chart was found. But I didn't have a pistol, now did I? Well, you could have taken walkies. You think I have mentioned that, no? All I heard him say is, it was me. I shot him.
Objection!
That's only because he's trying to protect you. Sorry to intrude in this lovely conversation. But the two of you are forgetting one critical point. What point? Searching for long once that chart. You assume she's threatened the doctor into opening the safe, but then you have taken the chart? Oh. See? The chart wouldn't have been safe. Ah! He's right. There's a reason why she doesn't have the chart. Miss Tiola. Yes? Declare to this court that you are not a very good fiancé. Oh, I'm flattered. Perhaps it's time you told us the truth. Tell us about yourself, including your actions and whereabouts on that day. Don't forget, you've proven that you were there at the Maractus clinic on the day of the crime. Alright, before I start this testimony, I need you to look at her nervous habit, okay? Be very cautious on what habit she tries. The Maractus clinic. Yes, I went to the clinic that day to speak to the doctor. I wanted that chart. I failed to get it. I went back to the clinic later. In any case, I didn't shoot him. You don't even have proof I stole the pistol, do you? And that brat was spotted in the park at the moment of the crime. Frankly, it doesn't matter if that brat was shot in the temple or not. You went back later? That chart was dangerous, you understand? I needed to get rid of it. That's why I went that day. But you couldn't get the chart then, could you? And later that night, Dr. Maractus was shot. I heard about the shooting waiting a day, but then I had to go back. No easy feat with the cops all over the place. Ah, that was you? Ah, Apollo, that sound! It came from behind this door. Someone's in there. A break-in? They left through that window. So you were the burglar? That was you two? Only I had one more minute. Then I could have opened that safe and gotten the chart. What? That's trespassing and treason at that. Oh, is this a trial for trespassing now? Besides, you can't blame a girl for wanting to protect herself. They are gangsters, you know. In any case, Mr. Justice, your cross-examination. Admitting the little crime to avoid the big one, eh? Don't worry, we still have more. So, you'll still have to keep an eye on nervous habits. That will be something you'll have to look at throughout the rest of the game.
Hold it!
Why that day? That brat was uncontrollable. He was ready to kill. And that would bring in the police. And that chart would become evidence. And I'd be hung out to dry. But the police didn't check the safe, did they? Well, they thought the crime scene was the park. I'll make sure the responsible parties feel the heat. Such sloppiness won't be tolerated, huh? I'm not thankful for the sloppiness itself, actually. Later, when I heard what happened, well, I was too scared to do anything that day. So I waited until the day after. 16th, was it? Of course, even the meddling kid had to get in my way. But why did Dr. Maractus keep the chart around? It's clearly dangerous for him. He could have burned it. Is he the coward? That was his turn. Sure. My signature on that chart, to be more specific. That made sure I couldn't betray him. She's already revealing her own motive. But you could have stolen it. Could have? Is this some new definition of proof? We'll ask Walkie. He'll tell us.
Objection!
Might I remind you this is a cross-examination? You might want to keep your baseless theories to yourself. Right. Yeah, but what? You had nothing to say? Okay. It was over the moment the brat was seen in the park. What's the point of dragging it out any further? The doctor was shot in the right temple, right? So it seems. Let's review the facts again, shall we? Killer shot from this location. The bullet would have struck their victim square in the forehead. However, the entry wound was in the right temple. Yes, we heard testimony on this yesterday. At the time of the shooting, the witness was standing here. Incorrect, Judge. Just before the gun was fired, he shouted. The victim turned his head to look. He was shot.
Objection!
But that testimony was proven to be a lie. Our Regis' panty snatcher, Mr. Stickler, did witness the crime, but he was standing to the north, next to the trash can where he tossed those panties. If Mr. Stickler shot it from this location, the bullet couldn't have hit his right temple. Silly attorney. Well, what? Do you remember what you had for breakfast this morning? Do you remember? Do you remember, Trucy? I always have a glass of milk for breakfast. What matters is one thing. The doctor was shot in his right temple. If that's the case, there can only be one explanation. The panties guy was mistaken. But he wasn't mistaken. Panties guy was not mistaken because he read the side of the noodle stand where it said noodles. So that's the reason why we know he wasn't mistaken.
Objection!
But his location was proven. You can't write that off as him being mistaken.
Objection!
Then why don't you show us her forehead? Show you what? Want to explain everything? Very well. Let's recap. If the witness, Panties guy, was standing to the north, I love how he nicknamed him Panties guy, then where was the shooter standing? From which location did the killer shoot the victim? But wait, if the witness was standing there, how could anyone shoot the victim in the right temple? I merely laid out the facts for us. It is up to the one possessing the shiny forehead to show us. If you can, that is. Walkie Kataki was standing at the killer mark. Wesley Stickler at the witness mark. And of course, Tel Maractus was standing at the victim mark. Let's hear what the defense has to say. Where was the killer standing when they shot the victim? Well, it can't be. Walkie Kataki was standing at K. As the fact stands now, we can't explain this crime without contradicting ourselves at some point. But I know why. The real killer shot from an entirely different location. What are you talking about? I don't see any other place. Apparently, Mr. Justice does. Let's hear it. Where in the park did the killer shoot the victim from?
Objection!
It's time to raise the roof and the stake. Eh? Penalties are such frightening things, don't you think? But what if they were a bit more terrifying? It's gonna be one shot, guy. Nope. Double. Like so. Double penalty? The forehead wishes to take us in a new direction? Then he must be ready for the challenges ahead. Challenge is accepted. It's justice time. Are you sure, Apollo? He is the witness, Mr. Stickler's testimony. If we believe that, and we know where he stood, and the victim turned when he shouted, there's only one place the killer could have been. The killer shot the victim from here. Where did the killer shoot the victim? This one's actually pretty easy to figure out, Di. Remember, can't be at V because the victim was standing there. But remember, the victim was shot in the right temple. Where would the killer be? if he was shot in the right temple, then where would the killer be? That's your answer. Can't be at W because there's no way to shoot the victim in the right temple. Remember, see where this blue arrow is pointing? Straight up and down. The witness would not be able to hit the right temple. Just a little bit.
Take that!
I believe we all owe a debt of gratitude to Miss Elita Tiela. What do you mean? Thanks to you, we had a chance to review the crime. And this time, we were prepared. We know that Weasley Stickler was telling the truth. We should have listened to him from the beginning. Weasley Stickler was standing next to the trash can when he saw the two men. He shouted, just as he told us in his testimony. And the victim turned to look in his direction. A shot was fired. The victim was hit in the right temple. Oh no. And oh yes. Which direction was his right temple facing at the moment? That's right, towards the noodle stand. Order, order, order. So you're saying the killer was inside the noodle stand?
Objection!
Let's think about this a bit more, shall we? You say the killer was inside the noodle stand, which would mean the victim, Dr. Maractus, came to the park, wheeling his own murderer in the cart behind him? Yeah, that's apparently how it would go. Let me drop this camera down just a little bit, so you can see a little bit more than just my head. Focus. A little bit over there. There we go. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I think you'd notice if you were pulling someone along.
Objection!
There's something we should worry about before that. Why was he pulling the noodle stand in the first place?
Objection!
Let's deal with our problems one at a time, shall we? Someone was hiding in the stand. We have not come this far to talk about possibilities. Let's talk about proof, baby. Show us evidence that proves that someone was in that stand. Can I prove that? You want evidence that someone was in that stand? This is going to be a tough one. Do we really got the evidence to prove that there was somebody there? Remember, the noodle stand wasn't dusted for prints. There's apparently no evidence inside the noodle stand to indicate that there was somebody inside the noodle stand. However, we may have some evidence that could insinuate that somebody was in the noodle stand. Is it concrete? No. I'll let Indy answer that for you, Di. You can verify what the answer is with him. Well, we can't prove evidence yet. We can't prove with evidence yet. Well, we're not there yet. We have to decide if we got it or we don't first. Is that what he told you? All right, let's see what let's see. I've got it right here. Intrigued. Let's see what you got. Show us proof that someone was hiding in that noodle stand. There is no chart with footprints. No, we don't. What evidence, Di? The noodle stand? You're saying the noodle stand? Well, the noodle stand's not going to help us. There isn't anything on page 1 that's going to help us. What on page 2 is going to help us? The Maractus Clinic, and they're covered with paint. These slippers were found in a trash can near the crime scene, and a single slipper print was found at the scene, right next to the noodle stand. Oh, and Miss Tiella? Your toe print was found in the left slipper. In other words, this is proof you were inside the noodle stand.
Objection!
Yet there was only one slipper mark found at the scene. Can this be called a footprint in good faith?
Objection!
Observe the diagram. A park pathway runs right next to the slipper mark. A slipper wouldn't leave a trace on a cobblestone path.
Objection!
Yet you still cannot say this is a footprint, Josh. Why not? You have an impression left by a single slipper. What if it was to stand and simply fell to the ground?
Objection!
That's just dumb. One more thing. A noodle stand is typically cluttered with tools of the noodle marking trade. There's no room for a person to ride in there. You have a point. Could someone have been in that stand? Apollo, I think I might be onto something. I think I figured out one of our pieces of evidence. In order to make room in the stand, something would have to be... Well, Mr. Justice, do you have proof that someone could have hidden in the stand? I can prove one thing. Someone did scheme to clear space in that stand. This should be easy. Should be super, 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 super easy. Even a fairy can do it. I'll make it even easier. It's on this page. I'll make it even easier than that. We've seen a whole bunch of them in the Maractus Clinic. This is a noodle bowl from the stolen Eldune's noodle stand. Yes, and what about it? We discovered a large quantity of these bowls yesterday in the lobby of the Maractus Clinic. Large quantity of noodle bowls in the victim's clinic? Mr. Eldune was very clear about these bowls. Well, I don't care who did it. Without that stand, I'm finished. All my noodle bowls were in there too. Yet the bowls were removed. That night, there was space inside the noodle stand. Space created at the Maractus Clinic, no less. Right around the time that you were there, Miss Alita Tiela. Stop! I won't listen to any more of these wild fantasies. No, not fantasies. They're worse lies than the spoiled brat pickup lines. I would like to remind the witness of her current status. This court does not consider you entirely innocent. Show me an innocent, and I'll show you a fairy tale. In any case, the defense has somehow made its point. The witness had both the motive and an opportunity to kill Dr. Maractus. More fairy tales. This whole trial is a fairy tale. And the defense attorney is a fairy. Fitting, right, Di? Then please, pull us back down to reality, Miss Tiela. I'm giving you one last chance to explain yourself. Just please don't pluck the wings off the fairy. This is it. Why was Dr. Maractus pulling that stand that night? And what was Alita Tiela doing inside it? Time to get to the bottom of this case. It's going to be the last testimony. Kelly's explanation. That night, I went to ask Dr. Maractus for the chart. I had no intention of ever letting that chart fall into the Kentucky family's hands. But Dr. Maractus didn't understand. For some reason, she thought the Kentucky had sent it. So I gave up and went home. All I did was talk to him. You knew about the botched operation. So you try to get rid of the chart to save yourself. I won't make excuses. I did warn the good doctor. Gave him a chance. I told him that Brad got his health checkup report and that he was coming to settle the score. See. Very well, Mr. Justice. Begin your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. This is the last testimony. Either I perceive the truth or it's over. Remember what he said, Di. Perceive. I hope you saw a nervous habit in that testimony. Did you see it? Not sure, are ya? But we'll figure it out.
Hold it!
So, you did go to steal the chart? Were you listening? I said I asked him for it. The victim was a man of good health. I don't see how she could have defeated him. True. It would have been impossible without a pistol. What if she did have a pistol? I'll admit, I wanted the chart. That much is true. My reason was simple. Certainly would have put dampers on your wedding plans, I'd say. Not only that, if the Katakis had gotten that chart, I'd probably be with Dr. Maractus now, holding the great noodle stand in the sky. It seems our witness was in a fix as well. Who would want to die pulling a noodle stand? When I die, it will be by my disappearing mysteriously in the middle of a magic act. Could we be a little less morbid, please? So you see, I needed the chart.
Hold it!
You didn't understand? He wouldn't listen to a word I was saying. The moment he saw me, he started to tremble. I thought, what is that? Please don't smile like that anymore. It's creepy. Almost looks like an AI image. He was practically delusional. Those AI images are delusional. They sent you? He thought the Kentuckys had sent me to get the chart. Makes some sense. You're their son's fiance. Don't make me laugh. The Kentuckys sent me? Don't play that way. If they'd known about the chart, they would have gone there with guns blazing. But I couldn't convince the trembling doctor otherwise. If that was really all that happened, what was all those noodle bowls doing there? How should I know? There wasn't any bowls when I went. I know that much. Why don't you let me be and go look for your killer somewhere else, alright? Do I detect uncertainty there? This is my last chance. Apollo, any word from your bracelet? Yeah, actually. I felt it respond. I couldn't see a thing. It's up to you, Apollo. Time to perceive the truth. Here comes justice. Now is your choice to pick which statement. Now I think I'm gonna let you figure this one out, because I was helping you on the earlier ones, because I want you to get a good eye on what you're looking at. And I need you to tell me what you're gonna look at before we go into the perceive section, because we also have to see what we're looking for. And don't worry, it'll repeat this statement over and over again. It'll ask if you would like to hear the statement again. You've already done all the pressing. Okay, last statement. Well, she's telling the truth here. She wants to dispose of the chart. So she's basically telling the truth here. All right. When we do this, where are we looking? Okay. Now, if you see it, I need to see that you tell me that you've seen it, okay? Hear it again? Okay, when I do it again, you can tell me when to stop, okay? It's not delayed that much. She's seen it twice, so she knows where to stop it. Okay? You can try. You can try. Not that much of a delay. I can assure you that. You can try.
Gotcha!
All I did was talk and lie. Well, what? Show me proof. I'm pretty sure about this one. I think I'm getting the hang of this. A little slip in confidence. They give it all away. The proof is you, Miss Tiela. All I did was talk to him. You claim. Yeah, you can't hide your own nervous twitch when you say those words. My twitch? What are you talking about? You have a habit of scratching the area of your neck around the edge of your scarf. What? What? This is working better than I hoped. Her unconscious action tells the truth. She won't lie. Habits and lies. 2 dots. Connect the dots and find the truth. Don't look at me like that. I told you the true truth. It seems that when you recall what really happened in the office, you can't keep your hands off your neck, could you? It seems a nervous habit. Or unconscious reactions that manifest when someone is trying to hide something. You can't hide behind your scarf, Miss Tiela. Something happened between you and the victim in the Maractus Clinic office. And I've got proof that shows exactly what happened. You already know what this is, right, Di? Should be very easy. It is on page 2. Should be very easy to figure out. Be one piece of evidence that was never used in this courtroom. The knife was held in Wakikataki's possession, so no, that's incorrect. And yes, the knife was presented in the last part of the trial. We're looking at something that was not presented yet. The cart has been presented. You're looking at something that hasn't been presented. Yes, we had presented the noodle stand in the last part of the trial. The sandals have already been presented. You're looking at something that has not been presented yet. Been presented already. Matter of fact, it's been presented last part of the trial and this part of the trial already. You're looking at it.
Take that!
What's that? You're touching your scarf again. There's something unusual about this lamp. The bulb is broken and there's red splotches on the cord. Eh? Seeing how you hid your neck? I think I can come up with a plausible explanation for the lamp's state. Well, spit it out. This talking in circles nonsense is killing me. Very well. The answer is very simple. Miss Alita Tiella, please remove your scarf.
Objection!
This is a trial to determine what happened in that park. Yet, we seem to have drifted off target.
Objection!
We'll find out soon enough if we're drifting. As soon as the witness removes her scarf. I won't do it. This is insane. I'm an unrelated third party. You can't order me, Miss Tiola. I'm afraid you've forgotten what's already been proven. What? You're hardly unrelated. Please remove your scarf. No! No! I knew it. So I was right, wasn't I, Miss Alita Tiela? Doc, that isn't what I think it is. Something did happen that night at the Maractus Clinic. You needed to get the chart back no matter what it took. Even if you had to steal your fiance's pistol to do it. But wait! Looking at this lamp and the witness's neck, it looks like the very opposite happened. Exactly. The victim in the clinic that night was this witness, specifically. You tried to threaten Dr. Maractus and he attacked you. That's what happened that night at the Maractus Clinic. Yeah! Order, order, order! Will someone please tell me what really happened? I told you the truth already! I went to the clinic that night to warn Dr. Maractus. That gangster knows everything. He's coming for you. Ugh, like my client. My clinic's seen its last patient. We have to get rid of that chart. Quick, open your safe. Give it to me. So you can save your own skin? What? I know what you're up to. You want it with the family. And if they see that chart, you're finished. Leaving me holding the short straw. But if I am going down, I want some company. You. And what happened next? He jumped at me and knocked me to the floor. Then he took that cord. That Maractus was serious, deadly serious. He really tried to strangle me. I must have blacked out. So, you were the victim. The red splotches on the cord was your lipstick. I want to remember that night. That's why I didn't bring it up. There. Are you happy now? I was out cold, almost killed. And you claim I then snuck into the noodle stand? But how could I? Ah! Well, one thing is clear. We now know what really happened at the Maractus Clinic, do we now? And it would seem that our victim was not entirely without blame himself. Sorry. I get so nervous just thinking of it. Hard to breathe. I do everything. Can I go home now? You bear some responsibility for events that day, true. Yet, if you were also a victim, this court would owe you some sympathy. Well, Mr. Justice, I believe this clears up the remaining questions for Miss Tiela. When did this happen? Suddenly, everyone's sympathizing with her. I don't know what to think anymore, Apollo. I mean, is this it? Do we know everything we need to know about Miss Tiela? Very well. This finishes the cross-examination of this.
Objection!
Here goes Gavin helping the defense again. Not so fast. This party's just getting started. Now we rock. What? Those spikes on your head are softer than they look. Or do you not have the stomach to go all the way? Prosecutor Gavin? Hell, Maractus choked Alita Tiela. She fell unconscious. But what happened next? He's right, there is more we don't know. But he was choked hard enough to leave that mark. He would have been out for a while. Even still, what if it was her in that noodle stand? Alita Tiela, half dead. Dr. Maractus pulling that stand. And a bullet fired from inside the noodle stand. What if it's all true? We might have already figured out what truly happened that night. Miss Alita Tiela, as you can see, we're not through with you just yet. You really want to blame me for this murder, don't you? You too, Prosecutor Gavin? Me for long? I only wish to know the truth. Well, let's get back over what we've learned up till now. On the day of the murder, Walkie saw his checkup report, from which he learned about the bullet still inside him. So he took a pistol from the family stash, with the intent to give Dr. Maractus some of his own medicine. Miss Tiela heard about this from Walkie, so she went to the Maractus clinic ahead of him to get rid of the chart with her signature. But then, something happened. Sounds like you figured it all out. Remember, I was the victim. I was out cold. But what about Dr. Maractus? That does seem to be the problem. He had just strangled Alita Tiela, perhaps he thought, to death. What did he do after his crime? I was just knocked out, not dead. From the state of his clinic and the scene in the park, I think it's clear what the good doctor did next. Well, or Fred, care to guess? Oh, Mr. Justice, what did Dr. Maractus do? Maybe he did kill Stella. Do I have evidence to show what he did next? This one's going to be pretty easy. If we think about this, Di. For what I'm thinking is going to be easy. It's going to be on page 1. You're going to survive the stream. Don't worry about it. It's going to be on page 1. Bot on Twitch. It's not going to be the mirror. Because Dr. Maractus did not have the mirror when he was pulling the noodle stand. That one's already thrown away. Too soon for what? The phone was Weasley Stickler's possession, so that's not correct. Weasley. No, it's Weasley. It's pronounced exactly the same as the character in Harry Potter. It's exactly spelled the same.
Take that!
This evidence shows what he did next. Does what her forehead? Your smile has a sort of a sick depression to it, Mr. Justice. What? This smile? Let's try again, shall we? Well, Mr. Justice, what did Dr. Maractus do? Maybe he did think he killed Lisa Tiala. I thought they were going to have us use the map to show us exactly where he was headed. So that means nothing on page 1 is going to help us. If that's the case. That would be the news. As his next move, Dr. Maractus stole Guy Eldune's noodle stand. What? Killing me disturbed him that much? So much he randomly stole a noodle stand? Wasn't so random. Remember all the bowls in the clinic's foyer? Bowls that belonged inside that stand. I think it's pretty obvious, don't you? That stand was at the clinic. However, the question is, why did he remove the bowls? Maybe because the stand was heavy? Or he wanted to put something in the stand in their place. Oh! Wait, you don't mean... I do. Dr. Maractus did replace those bowls with something. Your corpse, Miss Tiala. My corpse? Dr. Maractus panicked. He thought he'd kill you. His next move would be to dispose of the body. That's crazy talk. You're all crazy. Then let's think about it logically. The doctor had a plan to dispose of you in mind. But on his way there, who should he run into but the defendant Walkie Kataki?
Objection!
I question your logic. What's this, Prosecutor Gavin? The park is a dead end. Why would he head into the direction to begin with? That's right. He had no reason to go there. Oh, now I get it. It was a trick. That spoiled brat made him do it. He made the doctor steal the stand.
Objection!
Tell me, why would someone go to a dead end? Unless the park was his destination. What? Apparently the defense has an idea. Tell us where Dr. Maractus was heading with the stand. Here, please show us on this diagram. To where exactly was the victim dragging the stand? Do you see it, Di? You know what this is? Yes, this is the river.
Take that!
Sir, that's a river. Yes, Your Honor. I scarcely need to explain why. A perfect place to dispose of a body. He was going to throw me into the river? He didn't have many other options for lunch. I believe this clears up all the remaining questions. Victim pulling the stand and the defendant before him. And inside the stand, you, Miss Elita Tiela. And then, the denouement. Weasley Stickler, a panty-snatching fame, walks up. It's Weasley. It's Weasley Stickler. It's Weasley, trust me. Why don't you take a look at the pronunciation for it? It's Weasley Stickler, trust me. Seeing the two men, he shouts in that instant. The entire Ace Attorney community even calls him Weasley Stickler. Even the creator calls him Weasley Stickler. So who's pronouncing it wrong? And I bet you Google will also pronounce it the same way. So, I shot him. You were the only one who could have stolen Walkie's pistol. It had to be you. Well, Miss Tiela? Nice square. You mean I'm right? I mean, you've done a fine job dreaming up a story. Get that spoiled brat off the hook. You're the only one who's dreaming. Apollo's backed up everything he's said with facts. If you're so sure he's making it up, give us another reason. Why was Dr. Maractus pulling that stand through the park? Who knows? Just notice that there's glitches in the game. That Capcom has still failed to fix. But there's one gaping hole in your logic. I think Mr. Gavin knows whereof I speak. Where of what? I can't believe she's still trying to deny this. Is this true, Prosecutor Gavin? Must I always be the one to point out for his errors? Maybe there really is something. I believe the Furlong speaks of the doctor's car. His car? That's right. The Maractus Clinic has that big garage. In which that a green sports car, was it? Why would he steal the stand in the first place? If he wanted to carry a body, he would have used his car. Ah! And so, we find our victim without probable cause to steal the stand. And her defense without a case. I have an idea. You know that green car? I bet it wouldn't run. It was broken. Ah, what an excellent counter-argument, Furlong. Too bad you're quite wrong. Eh? Don't tell me you've forgotten what happened to your daddy. Daddy? That's right. That night, the car that hit Mr. Wright was the green sports car. Oh, yes. I nearly forgot about it. Afterward, he drove it back to the garage. It ran fine. That's right. So why didn't he use his beloved sports car, A glaring contradiction, to be sure. More glaring than your forehead. No! No! Well, Trucy's on the right track. Order! 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 Well, Mr. Justice, why didn't Dr. Maractus use his car to carry the body? Is there a ground of surrender I hear? some advice. Now's a good time to reveal all you know. Everything you've learned over the last 2 days. Everything I've learned. Mr. Justice, this contradiction casts doubt on your entire case. This is truly your last chance. The defense will explain to us what happened that night. Put the body in the car, huh? Let's see. Not gonna get penalized for it, so we'll try it. The victim used the car to carry the body. So you're throwing out everything you've proven up until now. Well, if the car wasn't broken, I admire stability in the fact of impossible odds. Yet this does not explain why he was pulling that stand. What's going on? Is Prosecutor Gavin trying to tell me something? Perhaps we need to ask you again. This is truly your last chance. The defense will explain to us what really happened. So that one's not right. I have it. It's all coming together. That night, Dr. Maractus couldn't use his car. Ha! Now I am making even less sense than usual. Not according to my information, Miss Fiella. Put 1 and 1 together and the explanation is simple. If it's so simple, perhaps you can show us some evidence. Show us proof why the car wouldn't run that night. It's actually going to be on page 1, Di. Nope, it's not going to be the mirror. The mirror would not stop the car from running. Chrissy's panties?
Take that!
Let's see now. Panties? Again? All sorts of things comes out of my panties. Even the truth. Another crime was committed that night of the murder. The theft of these panties, the latest is a string of similar thefts, actually. But that night, the snatcher was caught in the act. A brave young girl chased the thief until he hid in the Maractus Clinic garage. What? The snatcher hid the panties there before running. Perhaps someone in this court remembers where he hid them? Why, weren't they found in the car's exhaust pipe? Exactly. By the way, I learned something yesterday. A very important piece of information. And I learned it from you, Prosecutor Gavin. So you were here investigating? And I was on my way home when my hog gave up the ghost. Your hog? My motorcycle won't start. A clogged exhaust pipe. Too bad. It looks like such a nice bike, too. Hard to believe that it could break just from that. Cars, motors, bikes, they're all the same. Clog the exhaust and they won't run. My, how interesting. While Miss Giella and the doctor were struggling, the panty snatcher snuck into the Maracas garage. From that time until the time we found these, that car wouldn't start. What? That's why Dr. Maracas had to use the noodle stand. It was the next closest thing he could think of. Well, Miss Giella, this wraps your doubt up quite nicely, I think. So it does. Where? Where am I? Dark. Can't see. Cramp. Pain. My throat's burning. What's your problem? You, Doc. I know what you did. Ugh. Lucky? You lied to me. Do you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna give you a taste of your own medicine, man. Wait! Let me explain. Fine. I'll give you your last request. Listen. You're being tricked. But not how you think. Not just me. No! He'll ruin everything! I have to stop him! Lisa just wants you! Funny. This isn't the way it was supposed to turn out. Oh well. Bad. There's still one mystery. How did you manage to disappear from that stand? In the silence after the shot, I heard the witness running. I believe we heard as much from Weasley's sister. He went to use a public phone to inform the police, which is when I made my escape. Which is when you left the slipper print. Dr. Maracas didn't bother taking my slippers off. I threw them out after I stepped in the paint. So, that was your mistake. No, my biggest mistake was coming to you for help, Mr. Justice. Eh? I believed in you. You and your anything agent. If anyone would get Wacky declared guilty, it was you. I believe we'll reach the conclusion in court. Prosecutor Gavin, how is Miss Elisa Tiella doing? She's confessed to everything. We're processing her arrest now. Prosecutor Gavin sure seems calm for someone who just lost. I think she already knew. We'd figure out she was the killer a while ago. Some advice. Now is a good time to review all you know. Everything you've learned over the last 2 days. You lost. But I didn't exactly win either. Something the matter, her forehead? Looks like it's time to announce a verdict. Court is adjourned. June 17th, 4:12 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. Great job, Apollo. You did it. Yeah, we did it. Somehow. Walkie's off the hook. Free to become the gangster he's always wanted to be. And he has you to thank. Hey, attorney man. You're gonna pay for what you did to my Alita, Holmes. Or to blame, I guess. You give my Alita back! Stupid pointy-headed attorney with a death wish. Enough, Walkie. Oh, Mr. Kitaki. Die? Does he look intimidating to you? No? Does he look like a puppy dog? Is Detective Bad more intimidating than him? It's high time you open your eyes, Walkie. It's the outfit mostly. What do you know, old man? I think it's about time you opened your eyes. Giving up the life trying to become some kind of businessman? Don't talk about what you don't understand, Walkie. I'm afraid the guard is going to throw them both out. If not in jail. Wouldn't that be a happy ending? Hey, maybe we can help them out. We know why Mr. Kitaki needs to make so much money. Maybe we should tell Walkie. Oh, Walkie, Apollo has something to tell you. Huh? I do? Way to put me on the spot. Hey, what's up? Show him the reason why, Apollo. Why is Mr. Kitaki going to become a businessman? Well, technically this is actually easy. And you only get one chance at this, and I'm pretty sure it's his shirt. Because remember what was said. Now I gotta make sure it's either the chart or the health checkup that is correct. Okay, because we know the purpose of him becoming a businessman.
Take that!
Think about it, Walkie. Think about your condition. I talked with your mother, Little Plum, yesterday. It pays, but we need a lot of money right now. Clean money, that is. It doesn't mean... Really? Are you? I searched the globe. I found one. A doctor who can take that bullet out of you, Walkie. But it's an expensive procedure. Yeah, but you got plenty of money already, don't you? I won't use it. His facial expression changed. It was a gangster's life that did that to you, Walkie. I want to help you, and I want to do it clean. Please understand, Walkie. He looks less intimidating now, doesn't he, Di? All this time, did you know he had eyebrows like that? No. Dad. Man, is how it is. Man, always you looking out for Wacky. That's a good old man. One day, I'm gonna take you out. Then we'll see who's the OG. You try to hide your business suit. I'll find you. Stupid old geezer. My Wacky. Oh, as it should be. Mr. Kataki. I liked him more without the puppy dog eyes. What about you, Dad? Do you like him with the puppy dog eyes or without? Don't know, huh? I'm glad that I met you. I'm not so good with words, but I know the best job what I'm doing. Thank you. Oh, me? I don't think. Someday, I'll bet you one of our latest to talk to Lemon Fly. It's opening he's opening a pie shop? So long. And he was gone. Well, let's head back, Apollo. To the Rate Anything agency. Hey, since when do I work at your agency? We make a good team. Don't just stand there. Let's get going. Why not? You did help me out. There's a few questions that still need answers. Like this power of mine that she showed me. And my bracelet. If anyone can help me figure it out, it's her. Though I can't say I care much for what her father has become. Oh, that's right! We have to go someplace first. Huh? Where? Why, to claim a reward from Miss Eldoon. Ah, something new, right? You gotta stand back already. Oh, and after that, you can come see my show for the special appearance by the amazing Mr. Hat. Ah, it's special, alright. Please, anything. I think I forgot to turn the light on this camera. All this time, there was no light. So, my face looked a little bit dark throughout the entire stream. That's not good. Alright, what do you think? What did you think of that case, Di? All those sweat drop faces. Finish the case on Cinco de Mayo. Shenanigans. There's going to be more shenanigans next week. You ready for that next week? Yes. Because next week, you have to go and get your ticket. I know this is small for a Rockstar ticket, but you have to get your ticket because you're going to be in for a show. This is just a sticker, by the way. The camera glared it. There we go. You can see it better now. There you go. That's what it looks like. And if I put it closer in, you can actually read it. Well, what does it say? It's been sitting here on the coffee table for about a couple years. Okay, so we're down one more case. So 3 starts next Monday, week after Cinco de Mayo. What's the rest of the week? Well, tomorrow's grocery store simulator. I'm going to make sure the electric doesn't go out. Di is like sitting there and says, you better make sure that electric doesn't go out. Wednesday. .hack. Thursday. There won't be any Sims 2. Okay? There won't be any Sims 2. Week 8 of the PFL. 4 games. Half the season. After week 8, you got more work to do, Di. Especially tonight, you got some work to do. Friday, more PFL. Last week, The Sims 3 was postponed because of a storm. So hopefully, we won't have a big storm. We had a little bit of storm earlier today, but it kind of faded out by the time I started to get ready for the stream. And Tara's situation, the storm was happening right as she was going to prepare for the stream. And while it did lighten up throughout like 8:30, it was still a little bit too late to start up the stream. So we're going to make sure everything stays scheduled this week. Saturday, we're going to finish up the do more PFL. Andy's going to take over on the stream. Sunday, last of the week 8 PFL, and then Andy streams afterwards. And then we start a new week on Monday. And that's it. I was actually looking back at a stream I did, Tecmo Super Bowl. If you remember correctly, we were recapping Super Bowls in history. And we left off with Super Bowl 8 between the Dolphins and the Vikings. I want to go back to that again sometime in the future. You want to go back to that, Di? Because eventually we have to move up. So we will find a day for that one. I've also want to make plans where we can do Day of Reckoning. I managed to get the Dolphin emulator to work correctly, where it's not dumping textures because it to slow down. So we're gonna find a day to do Day of Reckoning. The thing is, we have to mute the music. So the music will have to be muted. I am not entirely sure if I'm going to do it live, because if I do it live, I cannot put music over it. If I do it as videos, I can put whatever music I want over it. So we'll think about what we're going to do with that. I think if I do videos, I think I want to do one match per video. I think it's fair, right, Di? One match per video. It's going to be several different videos. We'll do Day of a Reckoning and Day of a Reckoning 2. We still have to go back to doing Road to Glory for everybody. We've been 2 years absent from it, so we got to figure out when to do that. Quite a few other games that I am kind of thinking. We have Dirt to Daytona that I was thinking of too. Now that we got the Dolphin emulator set up and everything. The reason why we're doing it on emulation is because it's a lot easier. You're in Road to Glory 11 and NCAA Football 11. Anything? Rip Tour is also 11. And it could also be Ruby that's 11. Not sure, but I know we have Phoenix in 14. I think it's 14. I don't know. I still gotta get it finished though. If Reptor's in the PS3 port of it, we'll do his too as well. So I know you all have a version that needs to get done. So because we'll move the Road to Glory up into the Superstar mode. The Superstar mode is going to actually take the longest, depending on when you guys want to retire. And I happen to take the worst version of the games, but I will be very honest with you. The story modes are actually the best reason to play those Madden games, because their franchise modes are broken. Yeah, that looks like it's going to be it for me for tonight. So you guys all have a happy Cinco de Mayo. Care.